Hello everyone, I'm Maria. So I have a question for today. Have you ever had a thought in your mind such as, I want to live in Australia but I don't know where to start? If yes, then I will show you some initial baby steps that I believe is essential for you to check so you can prepare and plan accordingly. Just a reminder, I am not a migration agent. I am just a normal researcher. In this video, I will show you some websites and I will pause in between just in case you want to check it with me. If you are interested in exploring pathways to permanent residency in Australia, here are some first steps that you can take. First, check your eligibility. The first step is to determine whether you meet the eligibility criteria for permanent residency in Australia. There are different pathways available based on factors such as work experience, skills, education, and occupation. With regards to occupation, we can start with the new data on top 20 occupations in demand. If your occupation is not on the list, worry not, as I will show you next is the skilled occupation list, which can be found in the website of the Department of Home Affairs.
Here's the website on where you can find new data on top 20 occupations in demand. So as you can see, it was just released recently. So here, topping the list is a diverse mix of occupations including healthcare, digital, construction, and engineering professionals, as well as traditional trades workers. Here you can see in regional areas, skills shortages with high demand are concentrated in the engineering and medical fields. So here's top 20 occupations in demand nationally. So number 1 is registered nurses, followed by software and applications programmers, aged and disabled carers, child carers, construction managers, motor mechanics, retail managers, chefs, generalist medical practitioners, metal fitters and machinists, ICT business and systems analysts, civil engineering professionals, and so on and so forth.
If the current occupation or work experience is still not on the list, some people usually go to student visa and start from there. Details about student visa can be found here. Second is research about visa options. Once you have determined your eligibility, you should research different visa options available to you. Each visa categories has its own eligibility criteria, application process, and processing time. One of the most popular visa categories for permanent residency in Australia is Skilled Independent Visa Subclass 189, which we are going to use as an example for now. Third is understand the requirements.
So here's the website of Department of Home Affairs. So if you have any questions with regards to visa pathways or eligibility requirements, you can find here. So now we are in skilled occupation list. So if you can see these bullets, those are visa pathways. So this combined list specifies the ANSCO code for each occupation, caveats which include the use of the occupation in certain circumstances, whether the occupation is included on the medium and long-term strategic skills list, MLT-SSL, the short-term skilled occupation list, STSOL, regional occupation list, ROL, or regional sponsored migration scheme, RSMS. And lastly, the assessing authority for skills assessment. The major difference of medium and long-term strategic skills list and short-term skilled occupation list is that if your occupation is on the STSOL, you will generally need to find a sponsor, either employer, region, or state, in order to apply for a visa. So here's the skilled occupation list finder. So for example, you're a chef, you could just type in chef, check. You can see here chef and the visas related to it that you can take: 186, 189, 190, 407, 485, 489, and so on and so forth. So this chef is actually under medium and long-term strategic skill list. So the assessing authority is TRA. So if you're planning to get skills assessment in the future, then it's the TRA who will assess you. So let's go back to the whole list. Okay, so there are 674 occupations that you can check. Yeah, there's accountant, actor, acupuncturist. Yeah, you can check everything here. So I'm not going to go through 674 occupations. You can just click next, so you can find your occupation.
Each visa pathway has different requirements and eligibility criteria. You should carefully review the requirements of each visa option to determine which one is the best fit for your circumstances. In our chosen example, which is the 189 visa, the requirements are:
so from here, you can actually see the skilled independent visa subclass 189, which is a points tested stream. So this visa lets invited workers with skills we need to live and work permanently anywhere in Australia. So you can check here, you can see stay permanently. So it costs 4,240 Australian dollars to apply for this if you get invited. You can also see the processing times, on what also you can do with this visa. You can see the process here. You can also see all the conditions, the eligibility. With regards to requirements, you can actually see in the website, you must have an occupation on the relevant skilled occupation list. So the skilled occupation list that I showed you earlier, that one. Then you must have suitable skills assessment for the occupation. So remember the assessing authorities, that's the place where you can get your skills assessment.
next thing to check is the points table for skilled independent visa. subclass 189.
So here is the points tested stream for skilled independent visa subclass 189. So first of all, you have to be invited to apply. So you will need to submit expression of interest for them to know that you would like to apply for this visa. You also need to have suitable skills assessment. You have to be in this age. You have to be able to score 65 points or more. You need to have this level of English language. To meet the skills requirement, have to meet health requirement, meet the character requirement, have paid back your debt to Australian government, sign the Australian value statement, not have had a visa cancelled or a previous application refused. With the refusal, it depends on the refusal. Now let's go to points calculator. So now let's go to points table for skilled independent visa subclass 189. So as you can see here, the points depends on age, English language skills, and so on and so forth. So you can see the points here for the age, English language skills. So if you are unsure on how to get this English language skills, you can always check here. Next is skilled employment experience. So they also check your overseas skilled employment and also your Australian skilled employment. Educational qualifications, specialist education qualification, Australian study requirement, most especially for student visas. Yeah, you can get 5 points if you meet the Australian study requirement. So if you are curious about it, you can just click that one. Professional year in Australia. So not all occupations need or can get professional year. Credentialed community language. So for example, you have different language, you can take this test. They also consider your study in regional area. So if you study in regional area, you get additional 5 points. Lastly is the partner skills. So for example, you're interested to apply for 189 visa, then you have to check all your points and then check whether you meet at least 65 points.
Understanding this points table will allow you to know what are the next steps you have to take. Fourth, prepare your application. These may involve obtaining necessary documentations such as qualifications, work experiences, and English language proficiency, as well as submitting your application online. Last on the list is seek professional advice. Applying for permanent residency in Australia can be a complex process, and it would be helpful if you seek an advice from a registered migration agent or immigration lawyer. They can guide you through the process and provide you with an advice on best pathway to take. Just a tip, some agencies offer free first consultation so take advantage of it. You can also process application yourself if you are confident enough. Just a reminder, and this is important, please do your own research. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate if you can comment down below the word pathway so I know who watched until the end. I'll see you next time. Bye!